Thanks, Rita. Welcome to Wales Today. I'm Lucy Owen. The headlines. 5 men have been arrested, 3 on suspicion of murder after a collision involving a car and an off-road bike near Swansea.
Very shocked. Everybody was talking about it. All the roads around here were closed by police and ambulances and so forth. So it took a while to sink in what was going on here.
An 18-year-old man died and a 19-year-old was taken to hospital. We'll have the latest. Also in the programme tonight, as the British and Irish Council meet on Guernsey, the First Minister says it's Labour's call whether Plaid's supplementary budget gets through the Senedd. A quarter of 11 to 16-year-olds in Wales have tried vaping. Now people here can have their say on how to make it less appealing to children.
Selling them in more grayscale packaging like cigarettes are would be better.
People will still go for them regardless of what they look like.
Argentina is in the grip of football World Cup fever at the moment, but tomorrow their rugby team takes on a Wales side, hoping to continue a revival in form.
And in these baking temperatures, how are your plants doing? Well, I'm in the garden of Wales's most famous gardener, Terry Walton, getting some tips on how to protect them in this long, hot summer.
Noswetha, good evening. A murder investigation is underway after a collision involving a car and an off-road bike near Swansea. The crash took place yesterday afternoon in Gorseinon. An 18-year-old man died. 5 men have since been arrested, 3 on suspicion of murder and 2 on suspicion of assisting an offender. Another man, aged 19, was taken to hospital with injuries. Matt Murray reports.
This is a crime which has shocked the people of Gorseinon. Police were called to this road just before 1 o'clock yesterday afternoon after a collision involving a car and an off-road bike. An 18-year-old man, believed to be from Swansea, was pronounced dead at the scene, while another man, who's 19, was taken to hospital with injuries and is still in a serious condition. Floral tributes have been left on this road behind me following the death, which has shocked this area. An 18-year-old from Morrison still remains in police custody. He was arrested yesterday on suspicion of murder, dangerous driving and driving while unfit through drugs. Another 18-year-old from Gorseinon has also been arrested today on suspicion of murder and causing grievous bodily harm with intent. And this evening, there were 3 further arrests, including a 33-year-old man from Gorseinon, arrested on suspicion of murder, and 2 38-year-old men arrested on suspicion of assisting an offender. Ian Murphy is chairman of the local rugby club.
Deep shock. It's a very tight community. Everybody knows each other, looks after each other and cares for each other. And for youngsters to get involved in a tragedy like this is shocking and disturbing, very disturbing to us all.
Several roads were closed for much of yesterday as investigators carried out what's been described as a complex investigation. It caused major disruption. There is still a heavy police presence in the area as investigations continue. Matt Wiggle runs the Hope and Light Coffee House, which is a Christian not-for-profit community project.
We always have resident pastors and evangelists coming in here who are, trained dealing with these things, to be, a quiet ear and to pray with people and to ask big questions. And I know there's been a number of one-to-ones that have happened there this morning. I haven't been privy to those conversations. Obviously, they're private and personal. But it was, in amongst the despair of it all, it's nice to see how the church has reacted and just been that ear to listen to.
The local MP for the area, Tonya Antonazzi, is urging people to stay calm and not to share misinformation online.
Look, everything is being dealt with by the police. We need to not read the misinformation or spread misinformation. That's really dangerous. Make sure that you are keeping each other safe and having really good, positive conversations and then helping anybody that may need that extra support.
While investigations continue, the police are appealing for anyone with information to contact them.
Matt Murray with that report. A court has heard a 16-year-old boy used a knife with an 8-inch long blade to stab his teacher at a school in Pembrokeshire. Emergency services were called to Milford Haven Comprehensive School in February after reports of the assault of a teacher by a pupil brandishing a weapon. Vicky Williams, a teacher at the school, previously told the court that the boy asked for help with his history work before he lunged at her with a knife, stabbing her in the head. The boy, who can't be named because of his age, denies attempted murder, wounding with intent and unlawful wounding. A disqualified driver has been given a prison sentence after driving dangerously through Newport and then throwing the machine off the town bridge. 32-year-old Owen Pendry from the city was seen driving a vehicle Gwent Police described as an e-bike on Corporation Road last month. Following a short pursuit, he was stopped and arrested. He pleaded guilty to dangerous driving, driving while disqualified and using a motor vehicle without insurance. He was sentenced to 12 months in prison and was banned from driving for 3.5 years. Doubts remain over whether the Plaid Cymru Welsh Government will be able to get its supplementary budget through the Senedd next week after Labour rejected the offer of a deal last night. Speaking at a meeting of the British and Irish Council on Guernsey, the First Minister said it was Labour's call now because, in his words, Plaid had put a comprehensive package on the table. From Guernsey, here's our political editor, Gareth Lewis.
Touching down for his first big summit since taking charge in May, Wales's First Minister was on the ground in Guernsey, but a few big names stayed at home. No Scottish First Minister John Swinney, no Northern Irish FM, no Keir Starmer, and for now, no Andy Burnham either. The Welsh Government would like discussion about its demands for better funding and more powers. So is there any disappointment at the turnout?
The Prime Minister isn't here because we are all aware of what the context is currently. With Northern Ireland, we are aware that there are important elements within the calendar in Northern Ireland that would affect decisions on the ability of a First Minister and Deputy First Minister to be here. Let's be very, very clear. We have here senior government leaders, senior ministers from across these islands.
This was Rhun ap Iorwerth's first face-to-face meeting with a UK government minister. So have the dynamics changed since Plaid Cymru's election win?
I don't think the change in cast list is going to change the relationship. We have purposefully, under Keir Starmer's leadership, made sure that we've had a collaborative relationship with the devolved governments in a way that hadn't been the case for many, many years under the previous administration.
Plaid has issues at home too as it tries to pass its supplementary budget next week. It doesn't have a majority in the Senedd, so needs to strike a deal. Last night, Labour rejected an offer of £80 million over 2 years for pupils with additional learning needs, making the case instead for £100 million now. Plaid's spending plans also include an extra £100 million for NHS waiting lists, £40 million to repair schools and £55 million for childcare. The budget is the new Welsh Government's first big test. Fail, and it'll have to stick to spending plans already in place. The First Minister claims that Labour risks disappointing parents and councils who want the extra ALN cash.
I lead a minority government. I need to work in partnership. I have made it clear that I want to work in partnership with others. We've put this on the table now. It's 10 times more over 2 years than Labour were going to be spending on additional learning needs. Let's remember that. It's their call now, but we've got time to get this through and get spending that money and getting to grips with what is a serious issue. We have on the table now this offer, which is 10 times more than Labour were going to be spending on additional learning needs. And I remind you, there was no plan in Labour's manifesto to somehow ring-fence additional learning needs money. We have moved at pace. We are ready to move forward with this. We need to get the supplementary budget passed. This is the offer, and we are working in very tight constraints because Labour left us with a legacy of overspend on health, of hundreds of millions of pounds. But it's true. We have the books now. We didn't before. They were Labour's. Now we do.
So what is Labour going to do?
As it stands, we won't be supporting the budget. Now, we want to continue to work with Plaid to reach a deal because there's other elements in what they've proposed that we support, but we cannot allow a budget to pass that doesn't address some of the needs in our schools.
As the tranquillity of Guernsey is left behind, a more frenetic 10 days awaits. The budget and, looming large, a new relationship to build with another new Prime Minister.
Wales's chief medical officer says she's concerned about the significant rise in the number of children and young people in Wales vaping. Dr. Isabel Oliver was speaking as a new UK-wide consultation was launched, looking at tighter restrictions to make vapes less appealing to children. Rebecca Miles has more.
Brightly coloured packaging and names related to sweets could soon be banned under new proposals. Health officials have argued the branding and imagery is too attractive to children. The consultation also suggests shops should keep vaping products behind the counter, in the same way tobacco products are currently handled. Here's what people in Aberystwyth thought.
I think that the idea of selling them in more grayscale packaging like cigarettes are would be better to cut down on usage.
That is a big problem with vapes, as they are very marketed towards children.
People will still go for them regardless of what they look like.
The Welsh Government says data shows that over a quarter of 11 to 16-year-olds have tried a vape, and almost 7% are vaping weekly.
The consultation seeks views on appearance and display of vapes, tobacco and nicotine products, with the aim of making sure that that we reduce the number of children and young people that are using these products.
We need to make sure that this is kind of the first step in trying to stop young people and children having access to, being attracted to, and stop vaping companies marketing specifically to children and young people.
People have until the 2nd of October to have their say.
Now, death is a topic that many of us may rather avoid, but a woman from Barry has been encouraging others to have those difficult conversations. When Sally Sall spoke to our reporter Nicola Bryan, she was receiving palliative care for breast cancer. Sally died yesterday, but it was her family's wish that her short story still be shared.
I took my sons and grandson rallying. That was amazing. Then there was the roller coaster up in North Wales that does 90 miles an hour. I've also fed tigers in Bristol Zoo just to see them close to and to hear them. That really was amazing.
Sally Sall is determined to get the most out of life. She's living with stage 4 metastatic breast cancer, which has spread to her neck, shoulder, spine and hip.
It was hard to tell my children that it's palliative care and that, you know, it'll be end of life. But I said, I'm here and now, so let's just make the most of the time that we've got and, you know, do things.
Sally is a regular visitor to Marie Curie's hospice in Penarth. The charity says 1 in 3 people don't get the palliative care they need at the end of their life and is encouraging people to have open conversations about dying. At 62, Sally's been faced with making a decision about where she wants to die and sharing that with her husband and 2 sons.
I want to be at home. I just think I will be close to family. We've got 4 dogs. They're all bonkers. And we love them to bits. They're our babies, our fur babies. And they're wonderful. They make us laugh. They know when I'm not well. And they always sort of come and sit. Sorry.
Sally attends the hospice's craft and chat class every week, where she finds support in the company of others going through a similar experience.
You know, I've met up with a chap called Kevin, and we just seem to get on so well. And, you know, we meet up for lunch when we're here. We have a good chat. We got a lovely rapport. He's just a lovely, lovely person who's helped me, and I hope that I've helped him as well.
She said hello, and we both said hello, and then we just giggled and laughed, and then we really got on well.
Kevin Pletz, who's 79 and from Llantryd Major, has terminal lung cancer and says having a friend who really understands his situation is priceless.
She's going through the same type of thing that I am, so we gelled and we enjoy ourselves together. And then we just smile and we enjoy life.
It's a special friendship,
yes,
definitely.
It is definitely a special friendship.
Nothing like I've ever experienced before. It's just safe in the knowledge that we know we understand each other.
Yes, we do, and which is nice.
It is. Very nice.
Both Sally and Kevin are choosing to talk about what they're going through in the hope it will encourage others to do the same and help break the taboo around death.
Nicola Bryan reporting, and we're sending thoughts to Sally's family. And if you've been affected by any of the issues discussed in that report, support services are available on the BBC's Action Line website. You're watching Wales Today. Still to come in the programme. How volunteers near Bridgend are working to protect and encourage one of the most endangered butterflies in Britain.
And there's more hot and sunny weather to come over the weekend. A breeze picking up too, especially on Sunday. How long will the heat wave last? Join me later to find out.
And on that heat wave, we're getting quite used to them now, aren't we? This is the UK's third so far this year, with highs of 34 Celsius in Cardiff today and 32 in Builth, Wells. And while we all need to take extra care during these sticky days, what about our plants? As the hot spell continues into the weekend, Nick Savini joins us from the back garden of gardener and broadcaster Terry Walton. Hi, Nick.
Hi, Lucy. Yes, past couple of weeks for Wales Today viewers, we've been trying to give people some advice and tips on how to survive and deal with this very hot summer. Tonight is for the gardeners, and I'm delighted to say I'm joined by Radio 2 gardening broadcaster, Radio Wales, Terry Walton. Thank you very much, Terry. I'm in the inner sanctum.
Yeah,
Terry
inner
Walton's
sanctum.
garden.
Not many people get the option to come into this.
Thank you very much.
My secret haven. So
right, look, we've got to talk garden. We've got to talk watering.
Right, and when you got pots, like I got thousands around the place, don't tease them, give them plenty of water. Now, there's two schools of thought on watering, morning and afternoon. To me, the morning is the best. You can give a good soak in, they can take up all the moisture before the heat of the sun, or if you water in the evening, you'll end up attracting the slugs and snails. So morning to me gives the best time,
Right.
it gives them the best chance.
Brilliant.
Of the day.
Let's have a little, let me take that. Let's have a little trot round the garden then. What about your lawn?
What
Do
about
you
your
worry
lawn? I don't worry about the lawn.
Brilliant.
If it dries, it'll survive, and it's safe to cut it. So don't worry about it.
Okay, let's have a look at the greenhouse then.
Right,
so
in the
you're,
greenhouse, yeah.
I mean, you're lucky there. It's in shade with the
It is.
tree.
But what people do is they either buy the stuff to shade it, or you can throw a net over it to shade it. I grow this tree here, which is bald in the spring, so I can grow all my plants. When I put my tomatoes in, this is in full leaf, give me natural shades.
Okay.
I got a beauty of a tree on the shade.
And how are your
your
tomatoes doing in
They
there?
do very well. Auntie's picked them all earlier on before we knew you were coming.
Okay. But there's only... So what do you do then if you don't have that shade? So here we are. What are these here?
Heleniums.
Heleniums, right. Not much you can do, really, is there? I mean, there's no protection
We
you can give them.
can go indoors, put the fan on, find a cool room. They got to suffer it all out. There's no way you can protect them from anything. They are pretty tough. They look a bit, towards this time of day, they're looking a bit sorry for themselves. They're all sun-baked, but they will survive. The temperature will drop shortly as the evening goes on. You'll have a night of coolness.
And can you feed them with anything?
You can feed them. The best thing to do this time of year, keep them well watered and wet, and feed them at least twice a week with a seaweed extract, because that'll give them a bit of boost. They are being stressed, and that'll improve their immune system.
Big picture, if we're going to get more of these summers, do we need to change the kind of plants that we're buying, that we're planting in our gardens?
Well, I don't think so yet. I mean, there's a lot of move towards plants which are drought tolerant. And that may be the word, but I don't think I'm going to worry about it in my lifetime. I think in maybe 20, 30 years, if we don't do something about the global warming, then drought-tolerant plants are going to exist.
A lot of people talking and making comparisons with 1976. I mean, is that valid, do you think? How have you found it this summer?
I was around in 76, unfortunately. I had a allotment in 76, and it was a lot drier and a lot worse than this one by far. We have these in short, sharp spells. They are superheat, but they go away and we survive. Back in 76, it went on for 2 months.
OK, great bit of historical context there, Terry Walton. Thank you very much indeed. And of course, 30 degrees up here today, not expecting a huge amount of rain. You will, of course, get Derek's forecast at the end of the programme. Lucy, back to you in the studio.
Well, some brilliant tips from Terry there. Nick, thank you very much. We don't need to worry about our lawns. Thank you, Nick and Terry. Some sport now, and can Wales continue their revival in form as they prepare to take on Argentina tomorrow in their second Nations Championship clash? Steve Tandy's men started their campaign with an impressive win over Fiji last week, but now they have a tough task ahead in San Juan, where Dav Jones now reports from.
Argentina's in the grip of football fever. The world champions are into the World Cup quarter-finals, with Switzerland waiting on Saturday night. But first, there's another international hoping to make the headlines. After beating Fiji in Cardiff last weekend, Wales made the 7,000-mile journey to Buenos Aires. Supporters have followed them.
We've got a tango evening tonight. It's non-participation, unfortunately, but nevertheless, I think we're all going to enjoy. We've had great food and now a bit of entertainment to follow.
Fans enjoying what Argentina has to offer, hoping Wales can make their trip even better.
Oh, well, hopefully we win. It'll be a hard game. Obviously, Argentina are a big pack, but hopefully we can do something.
Wales have managed to fit in just one training session, but having won now their last 3 matches, they're buoyed heading into this one tomorrow.
Yeah, look, I think everyone's always happy when they win. Everything seems, the sun comes out probably a little bit brighter. All the hard work they put in, it's great to see, and for the supporters and for the nation, it's great to get wins, but we want to do it on a consistent level too.
3 changes from the side that beat Fiji. Sam Costello starts at fly half in place of Dan Edwards. Ellis Mee replaces Lewis Rhys-Zammit on the wing, while James Botham comes into the back row for Alex Mann, as Wales look to build on last week's victory.
You know, I think Argentina have shown that they will play an offloading game, but I don't think to that extent. So yeah, I think it'll be an extremely tough match. We know how physical they are, how passionate they are as well. But for us, I think if we can build on the set-piece performance we've shown, the dominance we've shown in that area against Fiji, and obviously just a couple of fix-ups, and hopefully we can build on the performance we put in.
Well, the whole of Argentina is counting down for the World Cup quarter-final against Switzerland on Saturday night. Here in San Juan, though, in the afternoon, the Welsh rugby team aiming to steal some headlines.
And kick-off is at 8 p.m. our time. Now, you may not have heard of the high brown fritillary, but it's actually one of the most endangered butterflies in Britain. It's found in just a handful of sites now, including one near Bridgend, where volunteers have been doing everything they can to protect and encourage the butterflies there. Thomas Morgan has been catching up with them.
A pair of high brown fritillary butterflies, one of the rarest in the UK. It now has just 6 strongholds left across Britain, and Oldcastle Down near Bridgend is its only sanctuary in Wales. And that's thanks to the efforts of those like Paul.
Without blowing your own trumpet, is that just down to you guys as volunteers putting the effort in?
Well, you never know, but we'd like to think we're having an impact, obviously.
Yeah.
You're never sure.
Yeah.
There could be climatic conditions or anything.
Just take the praise.
I know, but I'm just saying.
33 years ago, he noticed a decline in these brilliant orange-winged insects among the wild and brought them back from the brink through coppicing, heavy pruning of bracken, a plant essential for the eggs to grow, but too much of it inhibits the growth of the common dog violet, the caterpillar's only food source. And in recent times, the team has acquired the help of a far more common British animal, the cow.
Cattle are great because they trample bracken without eliminating it, and they create an uneven ground structure, which is also good because you get little niches then where the temperature in the spring and indeed the summer can be higher than the surrounding area.
Back in 1993, sightings were in single figures. Now it's not uncommon to see double or triple figure sightings over its short yearly life cycle. The tireless effort of this now 40-strong team has brought a community together.
After my husband died, I needed to get out and do something. And I got involved with the Wildlife Trust, and through that I got involved with Richard and then Paul on butterfly conservation. And it's such a brilliant group of volunteers. We've got a social group as well as the whole benefit of saving nature and working outdoors.
So, Paul, 33 years, has it been worth it?
Fantastic, yeah. It's become a beautiful obsession, to be honest.
As it struggles elsewhere across the UK, the high brown fritillary flies high in South Wales.
Well, let's see how the weather's looking for the weekend now. And is it another hot one for many, Derek?
It is, yes, Lucy. The heat wave is set to continue over the weekend. Lots more sunshine and toasty temperatures, but you will notice a breeze picking up, especially on Sunday, and that'll help to give some relief from the heat. Lots of sunshine in Wrexham today, with a few cumulus clouds developing, and we've seen some mist and sea fog rolling in off the Irish Sea onto parts of the north coast and Anglesey. Today has been the hottest day of the month so far here in Wales. 34 Celsius recorded in the capital. That's 93 Fahrenheit. 29 degrees in Milford Haven, 84 Fahrenheit. And we are experiencing a marine heat wave at the moment. Sea surface temperatures above average, typically 17 to 20 Celsius around the Welsh coast. Now, after a fine evening, tonight will stay dry and mostly clear, 1 or 2 mist patches forming, and a warm night, especially in the towns and cities. Potentially a tropical night in Swansea and Cardiff, where the temperature may not drop below 20 Celsius. Tomorrow then, another fine day with lots of sunshine from dawn until dusk. Very high UV levels. Temperatures not quite as high as today's values, but hot enough. 32 Celsius in the southeast, nearer 23 degrees in Fishguard, with a breeze off the sea. After a fine evening, tomorrow night will continue dry. Clear for a time, but cloud will spread in from England during the early hours of Sunday. A breezier night too, and slightly less warm tomorrow night. Now, on into Sunday, we have high pressure centred near Scotland, more isobars across the south of the UK, and that means it will be breezier. So on Sunday morning, low cloud will gradually disappear, leaving another fine day, lots more strong summer sunshine. It will be a breezier day on Sunday and still very warm or hot. Temperatures in the mid to high 20s Celsius, 30 or 31 degrees in parts of the south and west. But with the breeze, that will help to give some relief from the heat. Now, looking ahead to next week, the heat wave is set to continue, mostly dry as well. Keep the watering can handy. Just a chance of 1 or 2 showers or thunderstorms. Next weekend, there are signs of a change. It may turn cooler, but still warm, with a chance of a few showers. Lucy.
Derek, thank you very much. A reminder of our top story before we go, and a murder investigation is continuing after a collision involving a car and an off-road bike near Swansea yesterday afternoon in Gorseinon. An 18-year-old man died. 5 men have since been arrested, 3 on suspicion of murder and 2 on suspicion of assisting an offender. Another man, aged 19, was taken to hospital. And that is Wales Today. Lily Hewitson will be here with the latest after the BBC News at 10. And I'll be back with you on BBC Radio Wales from 12 tomorrow. But for now, from all of us here, thanks so much for watching and have a lovely evening. Hwyl fawr.